Welcome to Becoming Fearless, the personal growth podcast for you if you are ready to overcome fear and step into your greatness. Our purpose is to help you overcome your limits, have loads of fun along the way, unlocking your fullest potential in life, business, health and relationships every single day. I'm your host, Charlotte Carter, a high-performance coach and entrepreneur with over 20 years experience. I've supported many highly driven, talented people like you who dream big and are ready to take action to overcome what's holding them back. Each week, my guests and I will be sharing hacks and habits on how to build self-belief, courage and confidence to master your mindset and navigate your emotions so that you can reach your human potential in a way that feels light, fun and easeful and helps you become fearless. Let's go. Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Becoming Fearless. I'm excited to bring this guest on. It's a guest episode and it's somebody that's been recommended for me to have on as a guest. And I love it when I do this because I've never spoke to this lady before. We are just like connecting live on this episode, which I just adore when other people recommend people that think they as a great fit for the podcast. So I'm excited to see where this episode goes. It is an episode all about conquering your fear around social selling on LinkedIn. We've not covered LinkedIn before. This lady is an absolute expert in this. And obviously there will be parts of her life as well, her life story that will come into the mix. So please keep listening. So Sam, would you like to introduce yourself and let people know a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me on, Charlotte. I'm Sam Rathling. I am a LinkedIn expert and social selling strategist. I've been doing that since 2010, full-time since about 2016. So I've been around the block when it comes to all things LinkedIn. I work with both corporates, big brands like MasterCard, FedEx, Brother, and I also do a lot of work with coaches and consultants and solopreneurs as well. So, and my big focus is just helping people to actually get clients from the LinkedIn platform. That's really my focus. I don't work on my own. I have a team. I work with 3 other individuals. Chris, Nick are my business partners and Elise in our team. So I'm 12 months through my breast cancer journey as well. So just coming out the other side of having had chemotherapy and radiotherapy and surgery and all those lovely things. So yeah, it's good to be back doing podcasts and speaking to lovely people like you.
So let's talk, first of all, thanks for sharing that. So let's talk, first of all, about your personal journey just in the last 12 months and kind of like how you felt in that space, because there will be people listening that will be in that space for certain. And then we'll dive deeper into LinkedIn and how you can help people and all of the gems that you know in that. But let's just talk a little bit personal, if you don't mind, just a little bit about that journey for the last year of how you've kind of like stepped out of the business, been able to navigate your health journey, and now you're back in a different version of you.
I've worked all the way through, actually. A lot of people think I would stop, but I didn't. I reduced my workload, but I didn't stop completely. I actually found my own lump back in October 2023. So we're recording this in November 24. Had surgery in November 23. So I'm coming up for my 1 year since surgery. I have a scan next week, actually, for my first scan since I've been through everything. So fingers crossed everything is good. I have a mum who is a 3 times cancer survivor. So I have always been a big advocate of checking yourself. And for anyone listening who isn't doing that every month, please do. I found my own lump. I went to the GP and got referred to the breast clinic. And within 2 weeks, I was being booked in for surgery and having my treatment plan. So as a single mum of 3 kids, having to face your own mortality and really kind of get that news was really hard, especially telling the children. But yeah, it's been a journey. I'm thankfully through the other side of it. I have documented my journey quite a lot. I've taken to TikTok I've spoken about it a bit on LinkedIn, but I didn't want to become like the cancer girl on LinkedIn. So I've really kind of documented on video my journey on TikTok. For anyone that is going through it, feel free to go find me on TikTok if you're going through it or have friends going through it, because I really struggled to find a single mom talking about having breast cancer and working and dealing with kids and all the stuff that I have to deal with. So yeah, so I felt it was important to share my story to both raise awareness and also because I wanted to do a big fundraising mission as well. So I'm on a mission for £100,000 for cancer research. I'm at about 13,000 at the moment. So yeah, so I wanted to give back at the same time and have something positive come from what is quite a challenging situation.
Yeah, I'm sure. So all of the details to contact Sam and go and follow her on TikTok and go and donate will be below the podcast. So you can catch up with everything there and definitely go and follow her TikTok journey if it's something that will really resonate with where you are, or if you've got friends in similar situations. I'm sure most of us now know of people that are going through this kind of journey, and it's always a great support to talk with people who've navigated it in a way that's actually helped them. It might help other people as well. So thanks for that, Sam.
Yeah,
So
thanks.
let's talk about why. Let me just sow the seed a little bit so that you know a little bit about me. I've got a massive fear of LinkedIn, right? My clients have a massive fear of LinkedIn. That's like, well, Sam, let's bring Sam on. She's going to help the world. Um, I started my business on Facebook, got a lot of clients on Facebook, started to get clients through email, started to get clients on Instagram type thing. And then it's like, oh, a lot of my clients are actually sitting on LinkedIn. But I don't quite know how to show up on there. I'm not sure. And then started to explore different fears. So let the listeners know a little bit about why you've chosen the path of LinkedIn, what you feel for you is, why it's your standout platform that you support people on. And I love the fact that you just
Yeah.
boldly support them to get clients on it, not just show up to actually get the business on it. Why LinkedIn? What is it that you love about the platform, and how did you navigate to get being an expert on there?
So my journey actually with LinkedIn started very early on. LinkedIn's the oldest social media platform out there, and a lot of people don't realize that it's been around the longest. So it's even older than Facebook. So LinkedIn came about 2003. I actually became a member of LinkedIn early 2005, so I was a very early adopter. I was in the recruitment industry at the time, and back then LinkedIn was a very much a recruitment tool. It was where you went to get a job. It was where you put your CV, so your profile was where you put your career. That's how you built your profile.
Yeah.
So I really learnt LinkedIn from that perspective. And then in 2005 I moved to Ireland and started a business as an entrepreneur in a brand new country where I knew nobody. And I thought, I wonder if I can use LinkedIn to like start connecting with potential prospects, but also build my network locally, because I literally knew nobody. And I successfully built a recruitment business through doing so, both online and offline networking. And about 5 years later, I was still running the recruitment business. So 2010, I was invited to speak at a conference about how I had grown my successful recruitment business. I had landed a massive multi-million pound contract with Amazon. I was hiring a lot of candidates for them, over 400 people a year. And I was like, what, you want me to speak? Like, I've never, like, I talk about fear. I was, I was petrified. I'd never got in front of anybody to speak. And I asked them how many people, and he said, oh, it's just a couple of hundred people. And I'm like, oh, what?
Mm,
So I got up there and I had so much imposter syndrome and I was really scared. And I went up there and did it anyway. And I got this huge standing ovation. I shared my top 10 tips as to how you could grow your business. And LinkedIn was one of the biggest tools that I shared on that day. And nobody was using LinkedIn for business generation back then. And I got this huge standing ovation. And I just looked around the room and I thought, wow, like this is cool. I want to do this. And I still had my recruitment business at the time. I was not doing LinkedIn or speaking or training or anything like that. It was just kind of very much a side thing for me. And that was the day that I knew I was born to do what I do now. So that's kind of how it came about. I didn't go full time in LinkedIn until 2016. But at the time when I first started out, there were no women speaking about LinkedIn, and it was a very pale male stale environment. Like there was hardly anybody talking about it. Of course, now these days, 2024, there are thousands and thousands of people talking about LinkedIn and personal branding and content. And I think for a lot of people listening, it can be quite confusing as to who do you listen to and who do you go to for advice on any social media platform. But I think it's not uncommon for people to feel scared or worried or overwhelmed or, frightened about showing up on different platforms. But for me, why LinkedIn? First off, for most people, it's where their clients are hanging out. It's where their target market really are most active. And secondly, most of the other platforms have gone very much towards you've got to pay to play. So if you want to get clients on Facebook, you've got to put money into Facebook ads. LinkedIn is still, for me, the only platform where somebody can start a business, not have a lot of budget, and still get clients organically. And I feel like a lot of the other platforms have prevented people from being able to do that. So that's why I love LinkedIn, because you don't really need to pay LinkedIn a penny to actually benefit massively from the opportunities that it presents. So that's why I love LinkedIn so much.
I love this. So this is why I love having people like yourself on, because you are like through and through an expert. You are there, an early adopter. You have been through all of the changes. You've navigated bringing up a family. You've navigated other challenges in your life, and you're like here rooting for people on LinkedIn to be able to get clients from LinkedIn. So let's talk about blocks that you see for people, or fears, or limits, or people's, lack of confidence or clarity. What's kind of the sort of, if you could give a snapshot of what you think are people's resistance to LinkedIn, because I know there will be people in my audience for certain listening going, I know I've got to get on there, but I'm just seriously not, I'm just not actually showing up because I'm more comfortable in different platforms. And I hear what you're saying. The other platforms, there are pros and cons to every platform, aren't there? But there are definitely spaces in the other platforms where it feels like you've got to give more than what you're going to get back. So LinkedIn seems like it's going to be a great playing field for people. So what are the fears or limits that you think people have initially, so that we can kind of dispel them and then get them actually to being in the space a bit more comfortable?
Yeah, sure. So one of the first things is fear of being in front of camera. So LinkedIn is moving heavily in the direction of video, and a lot of people are very scared to get in front of a camera and film. Like, that is a massive fear I come across all the time. I'm currently on an influencer marketing program with LinkedIn, and I was with them on Tuesday night learning about their new immersive video feed and why video is going to play such a big part in their movement going forward. So if video is not part of your strategy going forward into 2025, like, that's a big missed opportunity. So there's massive fear around getting in front of camera, and that's not just a LinkedIn thing, that's just a thing in general. People just are not. So my advice in that is, if that is you listening going, there's no way I'll get in front of camera or film a video, just start by, at the end of every day, just record 30 to 60 seconds to camera of what you've done in the day and what your wins were, and what your wins and successes were for the day. You never have to post it. It's just to get you used to getting in front of the camera. And if you do that every day for a month, and you watch your very first video and then you watch your last few videos, you'll notice a massive difference in your confidence, your eye contact with camera. You'll just be more comfortable in front of a video camera, or a smartphone. So that's my advice. If video is a thing that you want to overcome, that's how I would encourage somebody to just get better at. Maybe buddy up with somebody that you also know has the same fear as you, and send them to each other. Maybe give each other a little bit of critique or a little bit of feedback. And there are lots and lots of people out there that help with video confidence. So follow them on LinkedIn, and look at their free content and try and learn some tips about how you could do that. So that's definitely one. Another one would be fear of being too salesy. So a lot of people want to connect with people, they want to build their network, but they don't know what to say in the inbox without coming across too salesy. So they either don't do it, which is not a good thing either, because the whole point is building relationships and growing your network, or they so most of the time they're not doing it, and they're not doing it at the speed they need to get clients. You can invite 150 people to 200 people a week on LinkedIn and connect with those people, which is the maximum right now. But a lot of people are not doing that at speed and building a big audience, because they're worried about how to do that, or what to say and how to come across, because they're getting pitched themselves and they think it's really spammy and they hate it. So that fear, and that they just project that onto and think, oh yeah, I'm not going to do that. So by not inboxing and not sending direct messages, again, they're leaving money on the table by not doing that. So that's definitely another one. And I find quite a lot of people, they just don't even want to take selfies or put, their face in the news feed. And ultimately, social selling is about staying top of mind. It's about building relationships, building your personal brand, and building brand awareness around what you do. But primarily, it's about staying top of mind with your prospects and your customers. And if you're not showing up in the newsfeed and being visible, then you are massively missing out on opportunities. The equation I always share with people is to get opportunities on LinkedIn, you both need to be visible and credible. And a lot of people are what I call LinkedIn lurkers. They're on the platform, they have a profile, but they just kind of consume and watch everything. And that's not going to, invisibility is not going to help you win clients. Like, you've got to get out of your
Yeah.
comfort zone. That call I was on with LinkedIn, the speaker, the presenter, Jamae, she's a content creator herself, but she works for LinkedIn. And she said, she's American. She said, scared money don't make money.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
she's
yeah,
like, get
yeah.
over it. Get in front
Yeah.
of the camera. That's a terrible American accent, by the way. But scared money don't make money. I thought, that's brilliant. Of course it doesn't. If you're worried, if you're fearful, and you're not prepared to get out your comfort zone and get in front of the camera or take photos or get in the news feed, you are not going to make money from these platforms. Like, you have to get out of your comfort zone and actually just bite the bullet and overcome it and just crack on with it and do it. Because if you don't, your competitors will, and they're the ones that will win the business.
I love this. This is all about becoming fearless, isn't it? Becoming fearless in your visibility on LinkedIn.
100%.
And,
100%.
I'm not going to try an American accent, but I quite like that phrase.
Scared money
So,
don't make money.
so let's talk about that. Let's talk about that whole. So if I just let you know a little bit of my experience, I've been spammed in the DMs, all the time, and that is off-putting. But I'm getting my head around that. That's just some people's way of doing it. They're just, for whatever reason, I've been attracting that. In when people come and work with you, do you teach them like that, like how to actually show up in the inbox as well? Because people, once they've got over this visibility piece and they've got over showing themselves and their character and their personality and everything, like their credibility, like you say,
Yeah.
then, and I know for me, I'm absolutely fine on video, but I'm like, oh, okay, now let's approach the inbox. Now, I don't want to be spammy. I don't want to be this. I don't want to be that. And then it's like, well, what do I actually want to be? Well, I want to be helpful, but what does that actually look like in terms of language and approaching and all of those kind of things? What are the blocks, or what are the things that people do that are great in that, or then what are the things that people really should avoid in that?
It's a great question, and it's something I could talk about for hours, honestly, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
First question was, do I help people with that? 100%. I've got a couple of hundred members in our social selling suite, and starting from £50 a month, like, we help people, like, we're really passionate about helping small business to do that. So I did an entire hour on Monday to our clients, in a live session on this very topic. Like, how do you actually prospect and create direct messages that don't feel icky or spammy or sales pitchy, but actually drive a response? And there are 12 different reasons why you might want to speak to someone in the inbox, and they aren't all about just getting a meeting. But think about, you mentioned there, like, I want to be helpful. So one of the ways you can start to build a relationship is not to try and get a meeting with someone or try and tell them all about you, but to actually give them something that they'd find really helpful. So as an example, I have 3 things that we give to our potential prospects. So I have 44 prospecting tips, I have 100 content ideas, and I have the complete guide to social selling, all of which are free documents that I'd use as a first step, depending on the prospect. If it's a sales leader, I'll obviously say, like, I've got 44 prospecting tips. If it's a coach or a consultant, I might give them the complete guide to social selling. But I start the relationship by being helpful and giving something of value. So it doesn't start out with an ick or a sales pitch. It's like, hey, I've got this, I know that most coaches, consultants struggle with this. I've created this to help. And here, I'm giving it to you because we've recently connected, and I just want to be helpful and help as many people as possible. So that is a way to use an inbox message to start the conversation. But of course, that takes really understanding your target market and what they really would find helpful. Because I know if I gave you a 37-page guide with the complete guide to social selling, you'd probably be like, oh, that's super helpful. Thanks, Sam. Or if you were like, I'm really stuck for content ideas, and I gave you 100 of them on a plate, again, that's another fear. Not fear. People have fear around content, but they also don't know what to post, and they don't know. They fear being vulnerable. They fear showing up as their authentic selves. They fear putting too much personal stuff because it's a professional
Yeah.
platform. So there's all these things that. So I sometimes will start the relationship that way. you can also use it to secure podcasts. You can secure it to, you can secure speaking opportunities and opportunities to go to events. Speaking of events, we build our entire business through online workshops and webinars. We have one today, actually, that's happening right now. My business partner, Chris, is running a webinar at the moment. And that is a free, no obligation, show up, come spend an hour learning LinkedIn. I do them every couple of weeks as well. So if you head to my LinkedIn profile, you'll see events there. It's like a free LinkedIn lead generation workshop, and I run that every month. And anyone can attend. It has hundreds of people that show up for it. But that's me being helpful. And in my world, I want my free stuff to be better than most people's paid stuff, because then if I'm helping people and adding value to their life, some people will then go, wow, I'm getting loads from Sam's free stuff. What if I actually paid her? How much extra would I learn? So there are many ways that you can be helpful, valuable, and give. And too many people go to the platform to get. So if you go to the platform with a giving mindset and think, how can I add value? How can I give? How can I help others? And how can I build relationships? That's a much better way of going to the platform, rather than how much can I sell? How many meetings can I book? How much can I get from this platform? So shift that mindset to a giving mindset, especially in the LinkedIn environment.
I love that. And like I say, all the details of getting hold of Sam and watching some of these webinars will be underneath the podcast. So listening to Sam, definitely jump on them and tune in and understand a little bit more about LinkedIn, and then really think about what's holding you back. Because as Sam said, you can get loads of clients on there. It has helped her build a business. She's helped loads of people build a business. She's worked with multi-million, billion, massive companies and brands. So she knows what she's talking about. She's here to help you. So if you know LinkedIn is where your clients hang out, please do follow Sam. Now, let's just round up a little bit. Is that one of your books behind you?
Yeah, I've got two, actually. So I've got
Do you want to just share your books? Yeah. Because some people will listen, some people will then think about books. So
yeah. So this one here is like LinkedIn 101. So if you're new to the platform or just don't get it, I would start with this one. So LinkedIn Bound is this is the 2022 or 2023 edition. So it's the one with blue and pink. If you read the blue one, it's 2019. I think there shouldn't be both available, but for some reason, I think on Kindle, my older one.
Okay.
The one that's got blue and pink on the front. And then I've got another one over here, if I can reach it, which is called Linked Outbound. So this one is more recent, but it's also much more around if you're really kind of into business development and you have Sales Navigator and you're like, you want to take your LinkedIn to the next level. That's what this one's about. So this one is much more about the inbox and outbound prospecting and how to create relationships. So they're different in different ways, but they are the two different ways you can generate leads. One is inbound leads by building your brand and content and having a great profile, and some people will reach out to you inbound. But the problem with inbound is that it's very reactive. You have no control about who's going to come towards you and how frequently it's going to happen. So there's no system and no consistency around inbound. It's kind of like the cherry on top, versus the outbound is where you are in total control of how many people you reach out to, how you reach out to them, how you pop them into your sales funnel, how you move them through. And that is totally in your control. So it's a numbers game at the end of the day. And it's also, who you reach out to and who you connect with and how you move them through your sales process. And the problem is most people don't have a process. They just have a hope strategy. So they do a bit of content, they do a bit of inbox messaging, they do a bit of engagement, and then they hope that somebody is going to see that and going to step forward and go, oh, can we work together? But the reality is if you don't have this system in place end to end that is designed to convert customers, convert your contacts into contracts, then you're missing opportunities. And there's always gaps. Whenever I speak to anyone, it's very easy to identify for me, because I know what they should be doing, where those gaps are. And it's quite often that they haven't quite got clarity around their product, their offer, their message, and their audience. So there's some work to do at the front end, but they're also trying to do things, but not doing them very well. So they might be doing a bit of outreach and a bit of inbox messaging, and they're just getting little or no response. they might be putting out content, but it's not doing anything. They're getting low engagement. They're not getting very many impressions. And then people give up too easily. So like, oh, LinkedIn doesn't work. Like I haven't got any business from it. If you want to see how you're doing from a social selling perspective, there is a score that you all have listening. Everyone has a social selling index, and it's a score out of 100 points. And it will give you a guide as to what areas you need to do some work in. So we'll pop that link in the show notes as well. But it's linkedin.com/sales/SSI, which stands for Social Selling Index. So you can go and check out your social selling index, and it will tell you in 4 areas where do you need to do the work. And that's a good starting point for measuring how well you're doing it currently, but also where do I need to do the work. And I talk about that in one of the first chapters in the book, is like, what's your SSI score, how it breaks down. And then I had a message from someone actually yesterday. Someone put it on the newsfeed and they were like, I've already got my SSI score to 72 having read Sam's book, and she was down in the 40s when she started. So I think it doesn't matter where it is currently, you can do the right things to turn that score. And once you're over 70, you get higher visibility. There's a much higher chance that you're going to get business from the platform. And you're doing all the right activities and behaviors that actually drive clients. And that's a key thing.
I love that. Thank you so much for that. So definitely, I listening to Sam, go and get that first book, learn how to get your SSI higher. Then you're going to be open and your opportunities are going to be bigger because you're going to be way more visible. Also, by then you've got your head around being visible on camera, if that was one of your blocks, and you've got an insight. And then the second book seems to help with more of the next level stuff, so that more of what you're putting in the inbox and things like that. So the final question.
Inbound is on Kindle, like for 99p. I make it really accessible for everybody, because it's like, for me, it's everybody needs that help, so.
Thank you so much. I love that. And then the final question that I want to ask is the question that I ask everyone, which is about a book that, and I know we've shared yours, but about a book that's helped you, whether it's personal, whether it's professional, whether it's helped you get over imposter that all those years ago when you were standing on the stage, or that's helped you in your life to be able to be who you are now, that we can share with the audience.
Sure. I have done a lot of reading over the years. I was in network marketing for a while. I got exposure to quite a lot of mindset things and things like that. So the book, I've read quite a few books, but one of my mentors in that industry suggested I read Little Voice Mastery. And that probably is the one that shifted that inner voice. And that's really where a lot of the fear comes from. It's the voice in our head that's telling us, right? So that would probably be the one. I've still got it on my bookshelf. That I think would probably first open my eyes to the fact that actually what's blocking us really is nothing external. It's all the 6 inches or however many inches it is in between our 2 ears, and it's usually us that's blocking everything rather than anything externally.
Yeah,
that little voice.
Thank you. Do you know who it's by? We'll look it up. What's it? Little Voice Mastery. I'll look it up afterwards.
Little Voice Mastery. Yeah, I
Yeah, I've
don't know.
not
My
heard of
chemo
it.
brain is terrible. I'll just Google it whilst we're on here.
It's
Little
fine.
Voice
It's fine. I'll look it
Mastery.
up. I'll look it up because I've not heard of it, and I always find it fascinating when people have had. There's so
can
many
see his
books
picture.
available for people.
I know I can see his picture because there's a picture on the. Oh yeah, Blair Singer. So it's called Little Voice Mastery: How to Win the War Between Your Ears in 30 Seconds or Less and Have an Extraordinary Life. And it's a book by Blair Singer. There you go.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's like high performance at its best, isn't it? There we are. We've got all of the details on the episode, so you can go and find it now, as well as finding Sam's books as well. Thank you so much for being on. I've loved chatting with you and learning so much about how you have shaped your business and how you help people. And people listening, I'm sure you will agree that Sam is like full of value. She's here to help. She's a very real person with very similar values to myself, and it's all about how can we help you be able to be whatever you want to be in life. So Sam's mission is about helping you get sales and get clients on LinkedIn in a way that feels right for you. And you've got a structure you can follow. You can show up in everything that allows you to share your credibility, your brilliance, and everything that is unique about you, and then get to hang out and serve more people in a way that you want to do. So it's win-win.
I know, right? Absolutely. There's also I'm speaking at a big LinkedIn conference in March called Uplift Live. run by my friend John Esperian. So I'm one of the 8 speakers and it's the only conference in the UK dedicated to LinkedIn. So if you guys are like really want to immerse in this and you want to see me live in action, then Uplift Live. I do have a code I can give people to get discounted tickets. So just reach out to me on LinkedIn if you want to attend that or get a discount on that, because that's going to be a phenomenal event. There's some incredible speakers coming from all over the world for that one. So
epic. So you will have you've conquered your fear of visibility now, and you'll be able to stand at that.
I know, right? I love speaking now. I haven't been able to do it much though, because my cancer treatment meant I wasn't able to leave the house because I couldn't be around people. So now I can actually get back out and about and get out to events and speak again. It's just so nice to just be able to do that and to be the other side of all of that treatment. So yeah, so thank you for the opportunity to speak to you, Charlotte. It's been great.
You are so welcome. Thank you so much. Like I say, Sam's details are below, and best of health for you moving forward, Sam. I've got everything crossed. It's all going to be great. And you're going to be out sharing more of your wisdom with the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for tuning into this week's episode. I hope that you're feeling energized, fearless, and inspired to take action today to stand in your greatness. I share even more tools and resources on my I Dare to Leap email newsletter. By signing up, you not only get early access to the I Dare to Leap products and services, but you also get brand new podcast episodes delivered straight to your inbox every Monday, meaning you'll never miss your weekly dose of becoming fearless energy. Sign up now at www.idaretoleap.com/newsletter or click the link in the show notes below.